I don't know about you guys, but there are times where getting a like or even just seeing a like feels like love. And it's not just because we're all social creatures who crave validation. It's also because likes and views have become an integral part of our self-worth. Our entire livelihood can depend on these tiny little hearts and thumbs up. And yes, while this is especially true for people like us who make content, it's also increasingly becoming more true for all of us. Even if your account doesn't have a monetization tab in the main app, the number of likes and views you get still directly impacts your own self-perception and how other people perceive you. We can gain confidence from a high number of likes and start to feel worthless when they go down. So why does something so simple give us so much joy? How do likes and views impact our brains? And most importantly, what can we do to stop letting them control us? I think we can all agree that one of the main reasons that likes and views can feel like love is because they show that other people care about us. We crave connection and to feel loved. It's hardwired into us from our prehistoric days where connection was essential to survival. Back then, our ancestors lived in groups of 20 to 50 people, and if they didn't fit in, they were likely to be rejected from the group, left alone without the ability to find food or reproduce. As a result, we evolved with the innate desire to seek out and maintain relationships with other people. Now, obviously, the world has changed a lot since then. The threat of being kicked out of our tribe isn't looming over us anymore, but our need for social acceptance and love hasn't really changed all that much. So now we turn to things like likes and views to fill that void. When we post something online and get a bunch of likes, it shows us that other people see value in what we put out. It means that they appreciate us, and that makes us feel loved. In fact, there's an interesting study published in the Journal of Experimental Brain Research that found that when people looked at pictures of their friends, the same regions of their brain lit up that would light up if they were looking at pictures of their romantic partners. Basically, the study showed that friendship can activate the same reward systems in our brain as romantic love. But it's not just the social aspect of likes and views that gives them the power to feel like love. There's also the dopamine rush that comes along with them. Dopamine is a neurotransmitter that plays a big role in our feelings of pleasure and reward. It's released in our brain when we do things that are enjoyable, like eating delicious food, having sex, or spending time with people we love. Dopamine is also released when we use social media. Studies have shown that every time you refresh your feed and see a new notification, your brain gets a little hit of dopamine, and that hit is even bigger when you get a like or a view. There are a couple of reasons for this. For one, social media was literally designed to be addictive. The more you use it, the more you get rewarded with things like likes and views, which causes your brain to release more and more dopamine. On top of that, studies have shown that people who have low levels of dopamine in their brain are more likely to use social media to try and boost those levels. And the more you use social media to try and boost your dopamine, the worse your mental health tends to be. So basically, the fact that you're trying to fix your dopamine imbalance by using social media in the first place means that you're likely going to get addicted to it. But dopamine doesn't just play a role in why likes and views can feel like love. It's also one of the reasons that we can become so obsessed with getting a certain number of likes or views. You see, dopamine is a neurotransmitter that plays a big role in our feelings of pleasure and reward. And every time we do something that's rewarding, our brain starts to build up a tolerance to it. This means that in order to get the same feeling of pleasure that we used to get, we need to do whatever it is that's rewarding us more and more often. For example, let's say you're playing a video game that gives you points every time you level up. At first, you might get 10 points for leveling up, and that feels pretty good. But after a while, your brain builds up a tolerance to that, so you need 20 points to feel the same amount of pleasure. Then you level up again and again, needing more and more points until eventually you need 100 points to feel the same amount of pleasure that you used to get from 10. The same thing happens with likes and views. Every time you get a like or a view, your brain releases dopamine. And the more you get, the more you start to need in order to feel the same amount of pleasure. So you keep posting and posting and posting, hoping to get that dopamine rush that you used to get from just 1 or 2 likes. So it's clear that likes and views have the ability to make us feel loved and give us a dopamine rush. But I think there's another reason that they can feel like love. I think it's because they make us feel important. You see, when we post something online, we're putting ourselves out there. We're sharing our thoughts and ideas with the world and then waiting to see what kind of feedback we get. When we get a lot of likes and views, it feels good because it means that other people see value in what we have to say. It makes us feel like we're making an impact in some small way. And that's a feeling that a lot of us crave. In fact, there's a theory called the importance of consistency theory, which states that people are motivated to behave in ways that are consistent with the way they see themselves. Basically, if you see yourself as an intelligent person, you're more likely to do things that are consistent with that belief, like read books or engage in deep conversations. And the same goes for if you see yourself as a popular person. If you want to be seen as popular, you're more likely to do things that are consistent with that, like post on social media and get a lot of likes and views. This is why it can be so devastating when our posts don't do well. It's not just because we might not get that dopamine rush or because we might not feel socially validated. It's also because it can make us question our own importance. If other people don't see value in what we have to say, then maybe we start to believe that we don't have anything valuable to contribute. So it's clear that likes and views have the ability to make us feel loved, give us a dopamine rush, and make us feel important. But I think there's another reason that they can feel like love. I think it's because they can make us feel like we're part of something bigger than ourselves. When we post something online, we're opening ourselves up to the possibility of being part of a community. We're putting ourselves out there and hoping that someone, somewhere, sees something in what we have to say that resonates with them. When we get a like or a view, it's a sign that we've connected with someone on some level. It means that there's at least one other person out there who sees the world the way we do, or who thinks the way we do, or who feels the way we do. And that can be an incredibly powerful feeling. In fact, there's a study published in the Journal of Computer-Mediated Communication that found that people who used social media to express their opinions felt more politically engaged, even if they didn't actually take any political action. Basically, the study found that even just expressing their opinions online made people feel like they were part of something bigger than themselves, which increased their feelings of political efficacy. It's no wonder, then, that we can feel so connected to the numbers of our likes and views. They're a direct reflection of the size of the community that we've been able to build up around what we have to say. So it's clear that likes and views have the ability to make us feel loved, give us a dopamine rush, make us feel important, and make us feel like we're part of something bigger than ourselves. But ultimately, it's up to us to decide how much power we give them. Likes and views can be a great source of validation and connection, but they can also be a major distraction and a source of anxiety and depression if we let them. The key is to be aware of the hold that likes and views can have on us and then take steps to protect ourselves from their negative effects. One way to do this is to set boundaries for ourselves around how much time we're going to spend on social media each day. Another way is to focus on the quality of our posts rather than the quantity. And another way is to remind ourselves that our worth isn't determined by the number of likes or views we get. Ultimately, the decision of how much power we give likes and views is up to us. But I hope that by understanding why they can feel like love in the first place, we can all make the choice to give them less power over us. If you enjoyed this video, you'll probably also enjoy my video on why being productive can feel like love. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.